Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're going to discuss how trivial issues trigger intense arguments. And one of the reasons I'm making this video is so that you're more aware that the intensity of an argument has nothing to do with the seriousness of an issue, right? You could be talking about like saving lives, curing cancer, and for most people, that discussion will go either one ear and out the other. But if you ever been in like a group meeting about where to eat lunch, people might take like 45 minutes to, a day to figure out, where you're going to eat lunch and, really be passionate about that. And so one of the first people, I don't know if this first people, but a significant person who understood this phenomena was a guy named Parkinson. So I don't know if you ever heard of Parkinson's law of triviality, but basically it says organizations spend disproportionate time on trivial issues, right? So the more important the issue, people just kind of gloss over it, and the less important the issue, people spend more time thinking about it. They also call this the bike shed effect, right? So you see here, there is a committee supposedly that had to discuss or review what to do with the nuclear power plant that cost $28 million dollars. You know how much time they spent? 2.5 minutes discussing what to do, and then they were done, right? But when it came to a bike shed, what do we do with the bike shed that only costs $1,000? They spent 45 minutes on discussing what to do with it. And I'm not trying to laugh. I think, I just think it's kind of funny, but I'm not trying to laugh on purpose. But that's just how life is, right? And you just kind of come to accept that petty issues trigger intense arguments. Another version of this law is actually called Sayre's Law. And I actually read this in a blog a long time ago about why you shouldn't go to grad school. I think it was called like 100 Reasons Why You Shouldn't Go to Grad School. And one of the reasons was that a Sayre's Law, and he says, so Sayre's Law states in a formulation quoted by Charles Isai, I think that's how you say it, in any dispute, the intensity of feeling is inversely proportional to the value of the issues at stake. By way of corollary, it adds that's why academic politics are so bitter, right? It says academic politics is the most vicious and bitter form of politics because the stakes are so low. And that's just how life is, people. People want to really spend a lot of time arguing and focusing on trivial issues. And then when it comes to the real big issues, you kind of hear crickets from most people. And one of the things I always talk about in this channel is that we live in a 50% failure rate society. What do I mean by that? You take a look at serious issues like, depression, loneliness. I can find a ton of YouTube videos on that. The fact that, a lot of the young people are going crazy nowadays. Another one is, people going paycheck to paycheck. Another one is last year, 93% of people regretted buying a home. There's a lot of serious issues out there. And I say this from my own experience. Very few people care to actually think about like how do we solve these problems. I like thinking about number one, the nuclear power plant, because that's just how my mind works. Like if I spend 45 minutes talking about where to put a bike shed, I don't know, just something inside me feels like I wasted my life, right? But apparently, and again, this has been true for quite some time because this was stated by Parkinson in 1957. A lot of people spend a disproportionate amount of time on useless issues. Okay, and you just have to be aware of that. And so, the reason I say this is so that you don't put too much focus on the useless issues that people are trying to like pull you into. And another thing too, again, um, the in any dispute, the intensity of feeling is inversely proportional to the value of the issues at stake. Like I read this from a blog, and I don't know if that blog is still there. Maybe I'll find a link to it and post it in the description below of why you shouldn't go to grad school because you're going to have a lot of vicious stuff going on behind the scenes because academic work in general has real to no value in society. Maybe there are certain discoveries that will change things, but if you're writing like a mathematical theory that's 200 pages long that has no real application for in the real world, but it's done for the sake of doing math, the type of arguments you will have regarding that type of subject is going to be much more intense than solving world hunger or depression or loneliness, right? So now in this channel, this is what I want. I want you to be the type of person who focuses on number one and is going to spend 45 minutes thinking about the nuclear power plant that costs $28 million dollars versus the bike shed that costs $1,000 that should only take 2.5 minutes, right? But again, most people's values they're kind of warped and they really like to spend a lot of time arguing about the useless things. Yeah, and that's what I don't want for you. Okay, so it's just a quick discussion about the bike shed effect, Parkinson's law of triviality, and Sayre's law. What do you think? Do you find that to be true in your life about, you spend a lot of time arguing about useless stuff? Or are you actually, you know, not practicing Parkinson's law of triviality? Leave a comment below. And also, if you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below, and we'll get on a one-on-one Zoom call. Other than that, have a great day, everybody, and we will speak next time.